CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken's here. Welcome back to another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we are back on the dev build to go over your season 65. I had to check there. So many seasons. Season 65, Tides of Heroes, Day 1 path. Now, a little disclaimer. Take this with a grain of salt. This does not mean that this is going to work for everybody. This is just, you know, we've had some time to chew on this tech tree. This is kind of what I'm thinking about doing, and I think probably makes the most sense for most people. So, right out of the gates, I think you're gonna be hard pressed to not want to go Warriors because there's really not a lot of defense, and it's also an offensive season. So, you know, Warriors may come into play with like a split Gren attack later on as well. So let's take a look at our options here. So we've got Warriors, we've got Grens. I think this multi-node at the troop damage is the only thing that makes sense. People also, I got a lot of comments saying there's GBE in the tree. There is, but GBE is typically the lowest thing that you want to take compared to anything else. Like, typically more troop damage beats out more GBE, unless you got enough GBE to make Seekers work, but I don't feel like that's going to be a thing this season. So, yeah. Now, out of all these heroes, the one that I'm leaning towards mostly is probably Brick or Bullet. I think Brick will be best early on, but I think Bullet will probably be really good for most of the season. And, you know, we're talking 84 keys here, so if you're going to get two heroes, that gets expensive. So ideally, we would just get one. I don't think we need one right away. I think we can kind of just let the game play out and just kind of, you know, determine from there what we're going to use. But my hero of choice right out of the gates would be Brick, because that might be a quick and easy gold rush if you can just use her and, you know, battle orders your way to gold. Might be a nice thing to have the option to do. So I would pick one hero if you're going to get a hero at all, and then from there move forward. Now, tech-wise, you don't need to unlock anything else other than these two multi-notes to get to 3 ERs. You just got to upgrade some stuff. So we definitely want max landing craft if we're using Warriors and Grens. We definitely want max gunboat. And yeah, I would max out the two defenses because that's all we have too. So you want the, you know, the most amount of buildings we can get. From there, we got to take the medic vac, so we'll take that. I would try to avoid this negative node. I don't know if it's really necessary. I think what makes sense looking at these bottom paths and the top paths, tanks too slow, not enough defense to warrant using them. Sniper towers might be useful because we only have, you know, two defenses. So for 18 keys, probably not going to make much of a difference, but I feel like this is going to be a base race kind of meta that we're going to be playing at the beginning, so it might be really tough to get engines at all, or sorry, to win on more than like a couple seconds. So having the sniper towers there might help out with that. Depending on if you're using Grens or Warriors, we're going to go ahead and get this node here. I feel like that makes more sense than tanks. Flares, we're probably going to need at least up to tick 3. And then we got a troop damage stat node, which is going to be huge. And then from there, we can come around on this side, and people are using Warriors a lot. We can try the Microwaver, maybe the Flotty. None of these are going to shut down everything, so we'll probably go with the Microwaver. And I would probably pick up the Mines too. Again, it depends on what people are using, but they're going to be helpful with Warriors, and they're going to be helpful with Grens, and they're only 20 keys. So we can get Mines and then go back and get Boom Mines, actually, and that might be a decent pickup just to slow players down a little bit. And then as we go into 4 ER, the meta is going to kind of shift. I think it goes a little bit from offensive to defensive a little bit here. So let's take a look at what we got. Now, we've got the option of going Scorchers. Now, the thing is, nothing is going to stop Scorchers, right? But, you know, heavy choppers are going to be better. So do we really need that? So we're probably going to go Zuka. I'm leaning towards going Rifleman. I think Rifle Zuka is going to be fairly strong. And then, of course, Building Health. I think this makes a lot of sense. Building Health, extra machine guns, maybe even get these shock mines, because then we got all 3 mines. So then we're kind of, you know, Seeker proof if anybody does want to go with Seekers. Actually, Seekers are way down the line here, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, max out the Building Health too. And then we probably want, I don't know what we want here, probably Building Health. So we got 70% at this point, and then we're going to make the route and go to 5. Now, the good thing about this season in terms of the tech tree, it's a good and a bad thing. It's not very confusing. I mean, even what I've done here, I think that's I think we've pretty much gone the right way. There might be a couple discrepancies here and there, but for the most part, that's what we want to do. Now, I said this is where it switches from offense to defense. I was wrong. This is where it switches from offense to defense. We've got the 2 cannons. So cannon, boom cannon, DBD, rocket choppers might be really good. 39 keys is kind of an odd number for them. But between rocket choppers and mechs, we're not going to be using mechs. So might make more sense to go rocket chopper here. Then we can go up and around, probably shock blaster. Artillery, just be careful with artillery. We don't necessarily need to put a ton of tokens into it, because at this point we don't have any gunboat energy, right? And if we're using rocket choppers, we're probably not using artillery for anything. So I think we definitely want that troop health. Again, skipping the negative node, skipping mechs, and going into 6ER. So from here, and I mean at this point we've only really lost 10 keys, because we would have had to take the mechs, or 13 keys, and instead we took rocket choppers, just in case they're viable. If rocket choppers end up not being viable at all, then yeah, we'll unlock mechs if we're not going to use them. But, you know, I can't judge the 6ER meta out without even playing. But, yeah, just, you know, we'll make that choice by the time that we get there. And then as we go through, we have medkit, laser rangers. We got a lot of good stuff on this side. So, I mean, we've kind of got the bottom offensive path and then the top defensive path. So I would think by the time you get heavy choppers, HCRC, probably going to be really good. Laser rangers, maybe we can skip for right now. We can go through DBD, a couple more boom cannons if other players are running that. Don't really need barrage. But if it comes down to lasers or barrage, we're not going to use lasers. Then, of course, we're going to go barrage and pick up some rockets as well. And if we didn't upgrade our artillery at all, we might have tokens left over from this to upgrade the rocket launchers, because we're getting pretty deep into the tech tree here. So this, I believe, is the 7th ER. Okay, so if we look here, now what do we got? So 7 ER, we finally get all the good stuff. So we got shock bombs, which is nice. Probably going to want to go troop damage first, I would imagine. Critter launchers, always a good pickup. Then we can go back here. Sky shield, heavy for the heavy chopper. Bombers for heavy chopper bomber. And then we probably want speed serum. I think that's pretty much the unlock order for the entire season, guys. It doesn't usually play out that easy, but and like I said, I'm sure there's some discrepancies within that, depending on how defensive things get. We might want to go back and you know, we might want Kavana to the gates instead. But it's about ranking up and being able to maintain that rank. So that's kind of loosely what I'm thinking for day 1, guys. Definitely let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Interested to hear your thoughts, what you plan on doing. Let me know down below. And we'll catch you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.